Madam Chancellor, I am delighted to present Mr. Keith Beedie, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Beedie Development Group. Keith Beedie is one of British Columbia's most distinguished business and philanthropic leaders, whose contributions have helped shape the Metro Vancouver landscape. Keith Beedie built his first building at the age of 19. By the time he was 39, he had a thriving construction company and the beginnings of a business empire. Beedie Development Group is now the province's largest private industrial landlord and one of the premier residential estate development companies. Underpinning Beedie Development Group's success is Keith Beedie's lifelong commitment to honesty, integrity, innovation, and uncompromising quality. Keith Beedie is also known for an unwavering commitment to community, which he has instilled in his family and in the culture of the company he founded. The Keith and Betty Beedie Foundation has made generous commitments to many charities, health centers, and institutions around the Lower Mainland and beyond. A donation from the foundation made it possible to build a much-needed NCAA-compliant softball field at SFU Burnaby. Like so many of his generation, Keith Beedie left high school early to enlist in the Second World War. Always regretting that he didn't have the opportunity to attend university, Keith Beedie never failed to drive home the value of an education. And in characteristic Beedie style of paying it forward, Keith and son Ryan donated the largest gift SFU has ever received. The gift established the Beedie School of Business in 2011. The endowment they created will invest in business leaders of tomorrow and help make the education that Keith never received accessible to others. Keith Beedie is a true exemplar of entrepreneurship and philanthropy. His business ethos and generosity inspire loyalty, admiration, and respect in all who know him. He is without doubt a role model worth emulating. Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon Mr. Keith Beedie the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Keith Beedie, by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Mr. Beedie will be hooded by Dr. Joy Johnson, Vice President Research, and Ms. Ramana Khan Hamani, Registrar and Executive Director of Student Enrollment.
Congratulations. The Chancellor. Dr. Beedie has kindly recorded a message for our graduates. Please turn your attention to the screens.
Hello, everyone. My name is Keith Beedie, and it's a great honor to speak with you today. The main thing is honest. You've got to be honest for sure and never lie. That's one thing. Another thing is to make sure that you look after the buildings. If we make a mistake or something, we have to eat it. We're just not going to try to get somebody else to pay for it. Oh, it's night and day. I did 3 or 4 buildings that I drew myself, and I knew how to do it and so on. And I didn't have to get architects and all this sort of stuff. Sometimes it maybe take a couple days, but that would be the most, and that was what it was then. And now it's 10 months to get a building permit. I had my ups and downs when we had a guy working for me, and there was all kinds of checks that my guy had been taking them and gambling all the time and losing. And I had an accountant. He said, you know, you should really go bankrupt because you don't have any money. I said, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll flip a coin. Heads I win, tails I lose. And by God, it was tails. And I said, I don't give a damn. I'm going to go anyway. I'm going to do my work. So I went to all my different sub-trades, and I hope to be able to pay you back in the whole year. And they all agreed. And at the end of the year, just a little bit more in the second year, I paid every one of them, and I gave them 7% interest. What's happening with us is that our buildings are so good that we're getting big time people, 400,000 square feet and all that sort of, coming to see us because they've learned what we've done. And we're overloaded right now for work. Ryan, after he finished university and stuff, he came work for me. He just so bright, so with it. He would start working in the office and working outside and fixing ideas and so on and so forth. And before I know it, he's worked his way in so that he's looking after all of that stuff, and I'm not looking after much of it at all anymore. But that's the way it should be. I mean, at my age and his age, I mean, he's in there and he's just getting this and buying land and all the rest of it. I just let him go and do it, and it all works. Ryan, he wanted to do something for SFU. I said, well, how much money? And he said, well, about $22 million. And I said, okay, if we got the money to do it, let's do it. I worked hard for a lot of years, I guess, to get to the situation where we could do more with it. I don't want the money to sit in the bank. I mean, let's get it doing something. I want to congratulate you people. There's 300 or 400 of you getting your degrees, and my son got his degree here, as you well know, and I really, really give you the best congratulations that I can come up with.
Thank you, Dr. Beedie.